Anwar al-Sadat was most famously known for his impact on Israeli-Egyptian public relations. He is famously known for signing the first ever peace treaty between the two nations, ending a very long and gruesome war. But what people don't realize is there is a whole lot more to Anwar Sadat. He was raised in a time where Britain controlled Egypt. So even his dad worked for the British military at some point in his childhood. Because he worked for the British military, he had to leave his son for a while, and his grandmother took care of him and was a very important influence on his life. He worked very hard to receive an education because he was not naturally gifted in this, and even flunked the general education portion of his high school experience before ultimately passing it again years later. After this, Sadat went to the Cairo Military Academy and graduated in 1938. He was extremely fortunate to attend this because it was, generally speaking, given to more wealthy citizens in a position that benefited the British more. But they were opening a new program that let him in. While there, Sadat began to develop his views and plot against Britain. He joined several groups and started conspiracy theories or rumors or whatever he needed to grow his ideology. Sadat began creating opportunities to execute his plan amid World War II. In this time, the British had Egypt working for them, but Sadat and his crew tried to sabotage the British, and a soldier ended up giving up his name, which resulted in him being locked up. Benefited the British more, but they were opening a new program that let him in. While there, Sadat began to develop his views and plot against Britain. He joined several groups and started conspiracy theories or rumors or whatever he needed to grow his ideology. Sadat began creating opportunities to execute his plan amid World War II. In this time, the British had Egypt working for them, but Sadat and his crew tried to sabotage the British, and a soldier ended up giving up his name, which resulted in him being locked up. This time period was crucial for Sadat because it made him more radicalized and intrigued by his beliefs. He was in this room with only a toilet and a bed and did not have any opportunity to do anything for entertainment, and therefore grew firmer and firmer in his belief. To achieve this goal of overtaking Egypt and giving it back to the Egyptians, he had joined Gamal Nasser's Free Officers Organization. Through this program, Nasser and Sadat rose up and ended up becoming the president and vice president of the new Egypt. And this was through crowd control and public speaking and charismatic speaking that they gathered a following and were able to do this. After Nasser died of a heart attack unexpectedly, Sadat was sworn into office. This was only the beginning for Anwar Sadat. For years, Egypt had tried to negotiate peace with Israel, and Sadat was able to do this. But before he was able to do this, for years, Egypt had tried to negotiate peace with Israel. Unfortunately, this failed at first, and military involvement became inevitable. Sadat launched a brilliant surprise attack on Israel that would give them the advantage for a long time. But unfortunately, the sides leveled out more, and there was a very big stalemate where peace was definitely a needed option. Because of this, Egypt and Israel were made peace, and this was an effort led by Anwar al-Sadat and the Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin. This is the famous photo of them shaking hands with Jimmy Carter, who really pushed this movement forward as it created a lot of world peace, which is obviously a very good thing for America. Anwar Sadat was a statesman for his country. He loved serving his people, and he always put his people first. He fought for and ultimately won peace for the nation of Egypt, which will never be forgotten by their people, and should always be remembered as a crucial moment in world history. Unfortunately, on October 6, 1981, Sadat was assassinated, but his legacy lives on for everything he stood for.